So we just discussed Brett Kavanaugh, President Trump's pick for the Supreme Court. And listen, my guess is going to get approved. That's my guess. Because you have too many corporate Democrats, too many blue dog Democrats who are probably going to fold. And I'm not sure if you're going to get Murkowski and Collins. Those are the most moderate Republicans, and they have indicated they wouldn't support somebody who might be hostile to Roe versus Wade. But there's just enough wiggle room that Kavanaugh has given them where they might vote in favor of him, because even though Kavanaugh praised the dissent in Roe versus Wade, and even though he ruled in 2015 with the pro-lifers on an abortion case, he has said about Roe versus Wade, well, it's precedent, and one of the court's roles is to uphold precedent. So there might just be enough wiggle room where Murkowski and Collins will be like, okay, we're going to support him. If Murkowski and Collins, Republicans, support Kavanaugh, and we know that there are going to be at least some corporate Democrats, blue dog Democrats, who support Kavanaugh, it's over. So we need to try to stop that. Now, Murkowski and Collins, I don't think what we do will have much of an effect on them one way or the other. But this asshole right here, Doug Jones, we can affect this guy. I mean, look at this guy. So there's nothing that pisses me off more than this argument. And this is such a pervasive argument that it drives me nuts. This is like the majority held belief on this issue. People say, name your establishment pundit, name your mainstream media host, name your establishment politician. They will say without fail, well, I mean, Doug Jones, what are we going to do? Are we going to force him to vote with the left and therefore make it so that he's guaranteed to lose in the next election? I mean, come on. He's from a deep red state. So what are we going to do? We got to let him vote with the Republicans so that he can get reelected. That's the dumbest argument I've ever heard. Because the reason why Doug Jones won is because the Democratic base came out in droves. He didn't win because there were phantom, moderate crossover votes from Republicans who were like, oh yeah, I'm going to go vote for Doug Jones. No, he won because the Democratic base turned out. Look at the numbers. This isn't my opinion. This is a fact. Overwhelmingly, people of color came out. Overwhelmingly, women came out. Sure, you had to have some Republicans stay home and not vote for Roy Moore, and that's what happened. Republicans were like, I don't know, kind of iffy, seems like a pedophile, not cool. So they were like, that's enough for me to stay home, I don't care. But the reason Doug Jones won is because the Democratic base came out in droves. So this idea that in order to be a serious politician and maybe get reelected, Doug Jones needs to now vote with Republicans, that's the exact opposite of what needs to happen. If he votes with the Republicans, guaranteed he doesn't get reelected. On the other hand, if he super serves the Democratic base, super serves the people who just voted for him, give them what they want, then he has a chance of getting reelected because the base will come out strongly again in the next election. Now, it's a deep red state, so you're still going to have to rely on Republicans not turning out for the Republican. And that's out of your control. But the most important thing you can do and should do is super serve your base to make it more likely that you will get reelected. What I'm saying flies directly in the face of conventional wisdom. But guess what? It turns out conventional wisdom is fucking stupid and incorrect. And that shouldn't surprise you. I mean, Democratic strategists for decades now have been saying the same goddamn thing. Oh, we got to run to the right to be more viable. We got to be more corporatist. We got to be more neoliberal. We got to do more warmongering. Well, you lost 1,000 seats with Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Barack Obama. You lost 1,000 seats. Maybe, here's a thought, go in the other direction. When Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump with that exact philosophy, you might have thought, holy shit, this is embarrassing. We lost to a novice who it was a fucking reality star host and is a cartoon character from the 1990s who went bankrupt 7 times but somehow ran on his business record. You couldn't beat that guy. Okay, time for a new philosophy. But no, they double down on the wrong philosophy and go even further in the wrong direction. So Doug Jones has stated, yeah, I'm open to voting for Kavanaugh. Oh, pump your brake, bitch. Pump your brakes, bitch. So here's his number. We're going to call him and we're going to say, don't vote for Kavanaugh. Now, listen, I just did the whole segment about Kavanaugh's positions. So when you call, whatever issue is most important to you, bring that issue up. Say, hey man, listen. Kavanaugh says the assault weapons ban is unconstitutional. Really? So the founders were totally cool with having assault weapons. They didn't even fucking exist back then. Are you serious? Or the Fourth Amendment. He believes in indefinite detention. He's against due process. I mean, this is principles of a civilized society that he wants to throw out. He's against virtually all regulations. He doesn't want to let experts at the EPA regulate to protect the environment. So whatever issue, net neutrality, he says Obamacare is unconstitutional. Whatever issue is most important to you, call Doug Jones and say, listen, you can't vote for him because of this. But also, you have to say, you will be more likely to win if you super serve your base, not try to get phantom moderate Republicans who would never vote for you anyway. You have to tell him you need to serve your base in order to get elected again. So tell him this is the right strategy. It's not just correct on the issues, which it is. It's the right strategy politically to not vote for him. So be kind, be respectful. Don't, go nuts and scream and curse at him and all that stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and put his number on the screen here. Call Senator Doug Jones, urge him to vote no on Judge Brett Kavanaugh, and then there's his number right there. People for Bernie made this thing here, 202-224-4124, 202-224-4124. Now listen, man, there's a dirty little secret in politics, which is this. You have power. You just need to throw your weight around. So remember, we did this on Medicare for All. I forget the exact numbers now, but I mean, it was something like 50 or 30 or 50 or something like that. Progressive representatives supported Medicare for All, and then we got it up to over 100. So this works. You want to know why? You scare the pants off of them, and they think, if I don't do this, I'm not going to get reelected. They're going to hate me if I don't do this. And politicians do not like calls all day long to their office where people tell them how disappointed they are in them and how shitty they are at their jobs. Because they're human beings. So they think, oh my God, they're calling me all day and telling me I'm the worst fucking politician under the sun. Maybe I shouldn't have done that vote that sparked this backlash. So yes, the loudest voices in the room get the attention. So if you call up and make your voice heard and you're like, don't do it, we need him to think that this is so unanimous across the entire country that it's like, wow, why would I even consider Kavanaugh? It appears like literally everybody in the United States of America is against Kavanaugh. That's the impression he needs to get, because he will bend to the pressure. He will bend to the pressure, but we have to apply that pressure. So again, be kind. Don't, curse at him or yell at him or anything like that, but just tell him very straightforward. Listen, here's where Brett Kavanaugh stands on, fill in the blank and whatever issue is most important to you that Kavanaugh is dead wrong on. And then tell him, if you want to win re-election, you have to vote against Kavanaugh, not for Kavanaugh. This isn't a question. You won because the Democratic base turned out for you, not because of Republicans. So let's go get him, and hopefully we have some kind of an effect here.